in the bottom right here. He's won more of these NAs recently than anyone. He is PSISTORM, MaxPax. His opponent, the victor of Korea, the man whose TVP never disappoints. Folks, for the Shopify Rebellion, it's Byun. And man, it's kind of crazy actually how imbalanced this bracket was. Byun versus Geralt game 2 was a banger. Absolutely. And if you're watching on YouTube, you should go check it out. If you're watching this game, Byun is already public. But on the flip side, I was like the only one that Byun had to run into. Meanwhile, we had Skilless, Trigger, MaxPax, others that I'm forgetting. It was a much more stacked bracket on the bottom side. Sometimes this just happens, but so it goes. We're going to have to see what Byun opts for. He's still going for those aggressive options. That double gas opening that he did to Nina and he did to Geralt. Both games. In both games of Nina too. This just seems to be how he wants to play this game. You get a quick factory. It gives you options. It means the Protoss player has to maybe play a little bit more scared. Now, of course, MaxPax does scout. He says, okay. The funny thing is, we see Byun. Where's his workers rally? So okay, that does go down, but he goes 3 of 3 and 1 out of 3, and I don't really know why he does that. Versus, I think 2 and 2 is technically more efficient. Well, that's just a quirk of what he does. Maybe he's saying, actually, I only need the slightly less efficient gas, and I'd rather confuse my opponent. I don't know. I don't really know why he does that, but it is just something that he does. All right, so now Byun into the naturals here, just scouting around, and there is the third base on the way, of course. But yeah, that's second barracks, and well, this tells us that he's got something up his sleeve. We're gonna have a 6-minute stim here out of Byun, and he's gonna run across the map with a lot. Well, actually, even choose not to. Byun is one of these Terrans that is really good at noticing, at figuring out when he can do stuff with his aggressive bio openings, and when he just has to retreat back on home. In fact, again, I like to talk about this, but his 3 racks opening, for a while, he would just run across the map and either win or lose. And now he started to realize that, well, he doesn't really need to do that. As that's actually a great pylon location right there. Byun cannot get his way fully on up, which is kind of annoying. So he's not going to see that there's a Stargate. Very well there for Max. Normally we see that there's a gap, but MaxPax, he walled it off properly. So we got an Oracle out. It's going to run on the other side, and it's going to give a fantastic scout here. We're going to have to see where the tech lab is. Tanks, of course, already on the way. There we go. So that's stim getting started. So actually, it's going to be closer to a 5-minute than a 6-minute. But Oracle, again, is going to scout all that out, looking for some damage as well. But with Marines and Mineral Lines and Cyclones out, you don't really expect this Oracle to get much damage. If it does, you're very happy. But especially against Terrans, Oracles are not really all that great at killing workers. The extra 5 HP means it takes 3 shots instead of 2 from the Oracle, and that just slows it down. But MaxPax now, he gets the scout off. He says, okay, I see what's up here. Third base is on the way, which may be a little bit too greedy for the man. We're going to have to see if he can hold it. But Oracle in the main base gets a good scout here. Says, okay, well, he knows exactly what's up. He sees that the tech lab on the factory, or the barracks, is researching. He sees the third barracks on the way. And we talked about how this is not worth a lot. Well, he gets 5 SCVs, and he gets a full scout, and he forces a scan out as well. That's 250 minerals right there. That is always going to be very nice. But here comes the tank siege of Byun. And his stim is not done, but you just get that random tank. The stalkers are going to try to knock it down before anything happens. And they will, but did they sacrifice too much HP for it? The shield battery is not yet done. Byun looking to punish the idea of a third base, but they get the tank. So MaxPax, he's a shield battery. He has tanks. His blink is halfway done, but he's warping in more stalkers as he only has, well, he does have 3 gates. So not the end of the world right there. And Byun rotates home. He did not get what he needed. He did not get what he wanted, I guess, from that fight. Cyclone on the other side, though. I guess it's just, don't really know what it's searching for. Maybe for a scan lock-on to kill a pylon, but I don't know. Okay, another Oracle. Oh, interesting. We're going to get another Oracle out on the map as the probes. The probe's just patrolling. They're looking for what the Cyclone's, for what this is going to happen. And the Cyclone gets a lock on a single probe, runs into the natural, but the Cyclone is really not going to get much of anything done here. It just goes down. Okay, you know, the harassing cyclone is a time-honored tradition from Byun, I guess. Interesting. But now MaxPax, his blink is done. He's got 3 gateways. His third base has been mining for a little bit. And he's going to run across the map. Not to kill Byun. I don't think he can. But to pressure the man. To make him feel uncomfortable, to maybe pair off some units, maybe get a bunker, maybe kill off some Marines. And make it so that when Byun ever finally moves out on the map, and again, he's doing that. Oh, he's doing what he did to Geralt in game 1? No, wait, he tried to do it with Geralt in game 2, but it couldn't happen. He's adding 2 additional barracks before that third base. This is a 5 racks, 730 timing. Instead of a 3-1-1, it's a 5-1-1. And we're going to have to see if MaxPax can defend. Now, his charge is about halfway done, but he did not get armor. He got attack. It means these zealots are going to fight harder, but they're also going to die faster. And with the sheer massive stuff that Byun has, I'm not really sure which one is better in this instance. But again, we're going to have to see how it works out for us as MaxPax. He's fighting Byun on the other side, and well, he just blinks backwards. It looks like he got a medevac, actually, which is always... No, Oracle died. Unfortunately, there, missed micro there from MaxPax. Is now Byun running on the other side. He does force a stim, and that is always uncomfortable, but charge is now done, and, well, Byun's not going to be ready to move out for just a little bit longer. He does want that +1 desperately, and it will be equal upgrades for MaxPax by the time that this push happens from Byun in earnest. +1 for +1. Byun's starting to realize that maybe he's been found out here. He's going to drop on the other side, but, I mean, look at this vision from MaxPax. Look at this map vision from MaxPax that he's got here. Now, Byun may find... Oh, no. Okay. MaxPax will see this out, and losing a pylon is absolutely fair play to not losing anything in your main base. Although, losing 2 pylons a little bit more unfortunate, but MaxPax, he's got 165 supply free. He's totally okay. Stark's got to be careful, though. They're going to get a win of mine before backing on up, as Byun setting up the multi-prong that has won him so many games. But we do, of course, need to point out that there is no third command center, no third orbital. Byun in that last game, he said, oh, you know what? I'm just going to drop my third at the normal timing for a 3-1-1, and I'm going to be okay. This is not happening. Byun is fully all in this game, and it feels like MaxPax is well prepared to defend it, but he's still down army supply. And zealots are good, but they can also... It can snowball both ways really quickly, depending on, A, the positioning of where the bio is when the zealots take the fight, and B, just in general... well, the Widowmine shots as well, but okay, actually, this is going to be a nice little pick here for MaxPax, although this is a scary position for the Zealots to fight on into. Meanwhile, Byun on the right side, he's going to try to knock things down. A couple Zealots morphed in defensively, but the supply lead starts to grow. Widowmines, well, that Widowmine, actually good target fire there from Byun, but now Stark's pulling forward. They're not going to get the second medevac, and Byun is just swarming on through here. The army of MaxPax is not all together. Meanwhile, dropping the main base, looks like it's getting a little bit more. No. MaxPax did deal with that one, and only 2 workers have gone down. The supply gap is staying right about the same, and with a shield battery here, Colossus on the way, it actually does look like MaxPax is going to be able to survive this pressure. +1 care or +1 armor just about done. 2 Colossus on the way. Now, no extended thermal lance, so the Marauders will be scary for a while. MaxPax cannot afford that upgrade just yet. But you have a bunch of 1-1 Zealots, or a bunch of 1-1 Protoss here with Colossus raining Hellfire from above, and it is theoretically doable. But still, the force fields are not going to be great enough for MaxPax just yet. The concave from Byun is incredible here. Widowmines, Byun blinks him out, but MaxPax just lost so much of his army. The first push looked good. It looked like MaxPax had the hold, but now the Colossus is out, but it's not out in time. The Marauders, they just snap it down. The unending pressure from Byun in this game number 1 is truly relentless, and there is nothing the MaxPax can do anymore. 56, 58 army supply to 8 to 12. Zealots warp into their doom, to their death. And, I mean, I don't know what MaxPax is supposed to do at this point. He has armor is going to be done in 10 seconds, but Byun is already done. Third base has been broken in, well, 6 army supply. Byun, he takes game 1. In the bottom left now, in the red. He's down 1, but he's made comebacks before for PSISTORM. MaxPax. His opponent in the upper right, in the blue. He's up 1. He looks disgusting in this matchup for the Shopify Rebellion. Byun. Okay, so game one, relentless pressure from Byun just kind of dominated the map. We are seeing a similar gas build. Yeah, this is just how Byun wants to play. He does not want to go. He wants those quicker stim timings. He wants those quicker stim builds, and he wants just quicker tag web, because this build from Byun does not guarantee that it is going to be a 2-1-1 or a 3-1-1 or a 5-1-1 as we had in that last game. Instead, it gives you a whole bunch of options. You can go for Widowmine drops. You can go for weird Hellion timings. You can go for a 3-1. You can go for a 530 stim. You can do a bunch of stuff. But what it does not mean is you will not be greedy. Not really. It means your natural command center will be delayed, which then just by scale, rules of scaling, slows down your third. And that is that. And again, MaxPax does get the scout off. He says, I know what's up. MaxPax got the scout off last game, and he roughly knew what was up, and he still got pushed through, pushed in, staved in. So, Reaper on the other side, what will it find? I don't know. It's gonna find a Stalker, that's that. MaxPax again opening up with Stargate, which I do like, again. Against these gas-heavy timings, it does keep you safe against a lot of stuff, and Byun is opening Widowmine, so, well, this is what happened last game, or the last time we saw Byun play TVP on Glittering Ashes against Gerald. Byun opened for Widowmine drops, and Gerald opened Phoenix, and Gerald slapped it all down, and he lost in 20 minutes anyways. But it was a banger of a game. It was a well-played game by Gerald. And there we go. Phoenix option on the map. It's like it's a PSISTORM. It is the proper response to what MaxPax has scouted and the game state and what the map is. Oh, it's a PSISTORM build. It's because they're teammates. No, that's not what it is. Okay. But beyond this, of course, we're going to see a tech lab left available for Stim for Byun. So he will still, of course, have some semblance of pressure. And interestingly enough, he's gone for a Viking. Vikings, of course, can deal with Oracles. I mean, they're not the best. They're not a Cyclone, but they can. But this may just be for worker line harass, which feels really weird to say. I'm going to build a Viking for it to land in my opponent's mineral line, and that's the reason behind it. But they actually shred probes. And if you do not respond properly, Widowmine goes off, but does not kill a Phoenix. Just gets a very low 8 HP remaining. And every little bit of damage, particularly every Phoenix kill that happens in this game, it makes it a lot easier for Byun's eventual pressure to happen in earnest. So, Raven on the way. I thought that was going to be for the barracks, but no. It's going to be that tech lab is going to be used for a Raven as the second barracks gets added on in. And this opening is going to be much more similar to, or this pressure from Byun, what I assume to be pressure, is going to be a lot more similar to your standard Terran timings that we're used to seeing. Now, where is the Widowmine? Oh, we didn't even make a medevac. Hey, Captain Hoppa. How goes your exploration of the unknown and forbidden Zerg build orders? Thanks so much for the raid. And now Phoenix are going to dive in, but they're afraid, of course, that there's a random Widowmine, and also you got to be careful of those Marines. They don't have critical mass just yet. So, some more Phoenix on the way. Still MaxPax with that third base coming up, and I mean, Byun, you're going to be ready to move out on the map in 2.5 minutes when +1 is done. In fact, +1 gets started before Stim, which is really not the end of the world because you don't really care about that as much. You care much more about your you care much more about Stim combat shields and +1 and concussive shells all being done at the same time. Anything before then, yeah, Stim is maybe nice to keep you safe against Blink Stalker timings, but it's really not gonna be all that much. So what in the world is happening there? I never noticed that floating. Okay, now the Phoenix is gonna, oh, that's a dead Raven. That is a wonderful pickoff. You will trade a Phoenix for that one every day of the week and twice on Sundays, but unfortunately it's only once. It's only Monday. Okay. Phoenix on the bottom side, but a lot of gateways on the way here for MaxPax. Again, +1 attack, not +1 armor. And with these face pushing builds that Byun has been going for, I think I do favor the armor a little bit more. Although there's always the argument that it's Widowmines that kill this, so you don't really care about armor anyways. But even still, I think I do favor that a little bit more just from performance, how we've seen it perform. But MaxPax also going into Quick Storm behind this, so we will have that Templar Archives on the way by the time that Byun does run out. And while the Storm will not be done in time, I don't think, he will potentially have Archons on the field to buffer and to provide that splash damage. So charge just about done, +1 just about done. Byun adding in again that 4th and 5th barracks. This is just how he wants to play. Apparently, it's new, but it's been working for him thus far. And well, he's going to lift up a Marine. That's nice. Ideally, he gets Marauders, and he's not though. He's going to run back home because there's just a little bit too much anti-air for MaxPax to really contend with. Also, notice in this game, MaxPax, he stayed on 4 Phoenix. He did not go to 5. He just stays on 4. And it's all going to be about the Zealots and the Archons on the ground, which I don't hate. I don't love. It's just a thing. It's just a different way about how he's choosing to play this game. Meanwhile, we got a gateway on the right side for reinforcements or for warpins. Actually, not reinforcements, but for warpins here. So MaxPax can go and counter-harass Byun as Byun makes this all-in happen. Because remember, Byun is only on 2 base saturation. He's not building any more SCVs. He's building through 5 barracks at a time here. This is all in from the Korean Terran. Now, eventually, he's going to get a 3rd base, but it's going to be like 8:30. It's not going to be that 7:30 3rd base because, again, remember, well, never mind. There's the 7:30 3rd, but it's off 5 barracks. So it is a much heavier commitment to the it's much heavier commitment to the pressure than we might otherwise see. So now here comes Byun once again. The Zealot's ready though, and Zealot's in the natural as well. Byun is in a bit of an uncomfortable position here, but the Bios they stem forward, trying to kill the 4th base of MaxPax. Honestly, MaxPax can just lose this, and he doesn't even really care. But Wouldn't mind. We'll siege up here now. Zealot's running forward. Hot fingers, though, from MaxPax. We will see the medevac go, or the Widowmine, excuse me, will go down here. You just cannot run from this army as Beyond. The Zealots, the Phoenix, they do such a damn fine job chasing. But MaxPax got distracted for a second, so the chase is not really there. And Widowmines are going to find a little bit more. Phoenix, good splits, but he's still loose, too. But the Zealots in the natural, they are the true problem. That single Zealot is such a problem. He has, he's 11 kills. 11 kills on that Zealot. That is, spicy. And oh, by the way, oh, look at this flank coming in here from MaxPax. He's looking to try to end the game before Byun can do whatever he wants to do in the mid game. He saw what happened in that Herald game, so the Zealots continue to run on forward. Widowmine's gonna be nice, but good splits there for MaxPax at the very end. It will force MaxPax back, though. And I think he lost another Phoenix. Okay. Also, again, everyone from Captain Hoppa's channel, again, you are more than welcome. Do me a favor, though. If you did come in from the raid, please click on my name at the bottom of the screen, or do something like, or remove the raid tag from your URL. Raids don't count for hitting partner, but if you click on the button afterwards, you count for Twitch. So please do that. I do appreciate it. So Raven Cute Demon, I'm pretty sure you're going to be playing Infernals whenever whenever Stormgate comes out, right? That makes sense. I mean, I don't know how cute they are. They're not really ravens, but they are demons, so that's my guess. But MaxPax, he kept his 4th base alive, 5th base on the way behind this. So he's up tremendously from an economic perspective. Hey, DeckB23 saying thank you so much for the resub. 3 months. I do appreciate it. Glad you enjoy what I'm able to do. Okay. That gateway on the right side, it has been dealt with. Byun kills it off, but it already found more than enough value. Kill 11 SCVs. It forced Byun back, forced him to a really awkward position, so MaxPax could take the fight. Now, MaxPax is equal on upgrades. He got 1-1. This is not the position he wants to fight into, though. Byun's going to run around that corner. A couple of these Zealots will go down, but as long as most of this army survives, it's going to be okay there for MaxPax, but Byun, he's chasing it down anyways. That's going to be another dead Zealot. Archon, though, not getting targeted, though. And where are... Okay, Zealots in the main, Zealots outside the 4th, but Byun is trying to fish in, and he just says, I can't do it. I see Colossus. That's not worthwhile. MaxPax takes game 2. In the bottom left now, in the red. Tied up in the series. Off a fantastic game, too. He's MaxPax. In the upper right now, in the blue. He hasn't dropped a map until that last one. Will that be the last one? It's Byun. And folks, as a reminder, this is a best of 5. You can see it down below, but again, whoever wins this map does not win the entire thing. They just put themselves in pole position to do so. So, Byun has done pretty much the exact same build 4 times in a row, 5 times in a row against the Protoss. We've seen him do it. Does he do it again? It's only one guess, so looks like no. Hello there, Hobbit man. Actually, it is I that is the Hobbit. I've been told that I'm Frodo, so how dare you How dare you steal what I have? How do you... I have an impersonator in my chat. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. But okay, Byun, single gas here, into the factory. Command center on the high ground, though, so really not that big of a deal. But Byun, for the first time in this game, he's doing something a little bit different. Not as heavy pressure of a build, because MaxPax has proven that he can handle it. I know, right, Captain Hop? But that autofocus. I don't tend to use it. I normally have focus lock, but sometimes when I don't focus properly, for example, we just go with it. Because there are bright things in my background behind me, and they tend to eat the autofocus, which is annoying. And then it doesn't focus on me; it focuses on my background. I'm gonna wait until it's 1999 to follow PSISTORM. Well, if everyone does that, then it's just never gonna happen. But okay, MaxPax, he's not opening with a Stargate this game. He got what he wanted out of it. He held off the shenanigans of Byun on Glittering Ashes. He held off the 5 racks play. He had his good defense. And in general, I mean, Stargate play isn't really great against that anyways, what Byun did, but getting the Raven was, of course, very nice, and it just provided him with enough tempo and scouting that he figured out what was happening. And now we just see a normal Blink build. How many gateways? For right now, 1. Second one on the way. We're going to have to see whether MaxPax goes to 2, 3, or 4. Which really just determines how quickly he gets his third base. But beyond behind this, of course, it's a 2-on-1. We're going to see a third barracks eventually. But, of course, because he has a reputation to uphold, really. He is not going to get his natural all that quickly. He gets the base done, but he's going to wait a little bit to put it on the low ground. But also, so he's not really worried about... And PSISTORM does it anyways. You broke your word, PSISTORM. I can't believe this. But anyway, where was I? Yeah, natural now down here for Byun. Captain Hop, I have MaxPax and Byun faced off a decent amount. In fact, I summoned this before I even looked at the player settings. MaxPax and Byun in 126, I think, played a fantastic 3-game series. The Reaper finds... Oh, it's going to... Oh, what a grenade! Does not get the third one, though. Played a fantastic 3-game series, which went about 50 minutes. And I showed that on stream before we went into actual casting the EPT Cup. So, it's on my YouTube. And MaxPax to play Byun faced off a decent amount. It's all on my YouTube. Or the stuff I've cast is all on my YouTube if you want to take a look. And unfortunately, I don't know if they faced during WTL. Not sure about that. I don't remember... When does Shopify play PSISTORM? They might have already. I'm not sure. Okay, MaxPax, his blink is done. He's sitting on only 2 gates. Third one on the way now, and additional 4th because, hey, you know, he's got his 3 bases. He can start to bulk up his production a little bit more. But this is just Blink Colossus, all right? This is the most stock standard Protoss build in the mid-game that you really will ever see. So we're really just going to have to see how Byun looks to make something happen because his stim is going to be done rather soon. Combat shield's a little bit further off, and +1 a little bit further off as well. So he's going for that 7:30 minute timing as the Cyclone finds the harassing Cyclone. This is something Byun did to Geralt as well. Didn't get a lot out of it, but he did it, and this time gets a little bit more. 3 workers do go down because at this point, what really is the point of a Cyclone? It's not doing all that much, so you might as well just harass with it. Why not? Byun, though, scouts, sees the Observer, knocks that one down, and now charges on the way. Colossus are on the way. And this is not a Raven opening coming in from MaxPax, so it's not going to be the easy, or from Byun, excuse me. So it's not going to be the easiest thing for Byun to go and actually shove his way on through MaxPax on this 3 barracks play. So we should see a command center go down. Byun should just kind of realize that the opening MaxPax has gone for is really safe against what he's doing. And we may be treated to a much longer game here in this game number 3, which, give it to me. We've had a short game on Berlingrad and a slightly longer game, but not all by that much. And a game where someone was very clearly leading through quite a lot of it in game 2. But game 3, this is the opportunity we have to really make something happen. It's now Byun active on the map. His +1's not done, but concussive shell is just about, and he can start to do things, start to put some pressure on. But one Colossus is already out. Second one is on the way. Yeah, no, they do definitely Captain Hop. Normally it's in the semifinals for whatever reason, but I'll take 5 games of MaxPax together. 4, 3, whatever we get. Certainly we're guaranteed 4 right now. But one Colossus is out. Second one on the way, just about done. Drop on the left side. Actually, MaxPax almost kills it. Oh, 1 more Stalker shot would have, or 2 more Stalker shots would have done that one in. Because MaxPax, one thing he's been really good at this series is establishing map vision. He did it in Berlingrad too, and it kept him safe for a little bit, but not quite safe enough. As Stalkers, they tangle with the bio here of Byun a little bit. But the thing we got to point out is that Byun does have his third base on the way, but generally, if you say, okay, well, this is going to work, it's when a 3-1-1 starts to buffer supply by maybe 20 supply. And then you're like, okay, the Terran can punch through. But MaxPax has been macroing perfectly. His build just deals with it well enough anyways. So he's got 2 Colossus out. Third one's on the way. No Vikings. Nothing that really kills this. And I believe Extended Thermal Lance is, yeah, it's done. So it's not even a game where the Viking or the Colossus are sheer range with the Marauders. So it's like, well, you have Colossus out, my friend, but I'm going to dive on top of it. Not true. Not in this game. So now MaxPax looks like the second level of splash that he wants to go for is actually going to be for Storm, not Disruptors, which feels weird, but Byun is a Disruptor sniper in the extreme. For the last year, he's kind of, at least in my book, gotten this reputation as being this player who maybe overcommits to Storm a little bit. A lot. Overcommits, excuse me, to kill Disruptors a lot. But he's gotten a lot better at it. He's found his limits just a little bit more, so we're going to have to see. That may be why MaxPax wants to go for this. Of course, also, enhanced shockwaves are going to be done pretty much by the are started before Storm is. So this may just be for Archons because MaxPax just wants to go for a big +1 push. He certainly is out of the gateways for it. He's on to 10 pretty soon. Because I don't really think High Templar are going to get much done this game. Not with Ghosts already out in the field, not with enhanced shockwaves on the way. And yeah, it's just going to be Archons. That's going to be the name of the game for MaxPax. He wants to get damage done. And his army is well primed. Now, we have 3 Vikings on the field. We're going to have about 6 or 7, maybe even up to 9, which is what you want by the time that MaxPax finds his way onto the other side. But okay. Archons here. Warp Prism is just... We're going to get another round of Warpins, I think. Now, Byun does know that this army is on the map. He knows that it's not just kind of sitting there posturing, but there we go. Another Archon on the way, a bunch more Zealots. +1 is now done. MaxPax looking to just shove on through with just massive amounts of, well, middle tech Protoss stuff. 3 Colossus, bunch of charge lots, an Archon, some Stalkers, and, well, Byun's going to try to take the fight here. EMPs are the most important thing here. Stalkers pulling onto the right, knocking down 2 Vikings, but already 1 Colossus taking a little bit of fire here. Archon's running on forward. 1 Colossus is already dead, but the second 2 are firing strong here. The Vikings are starting to fall. The 2 Colossus, they're barely staying alive. The last one, it goes down, but the army here of Byun kind of falling down here as well as the Zealots run forward, but the last Colossus dead as well. Byun has taken the fight that he needs. The supply of MaxPax plummets. The tech of MaxPax plummets. And yes, MaxPax has the 4th base, but he just lost so much here. And the Vikings are going to knock down the War Prism as well. No follow-on harass from the Prince of Denmark. And yes, MaxPax, again, he's got a 4th base. He's got 2-2 on the way. But this oncoming push that Byun is now going to make is going to be damn hard to stop. He got 1 Disruptor. That is it. That is the only piece of high-tech composition that MaxPax has in this game. Yes, he's going to build another Archon. But folks, let me tell you the tragedy of Archons versus EMP. It just does not really work all that well. It looks like 1 Zealot on a run-by had to be dealt with, but now Byun looking up 40 army supply. 30-40 army supply. And instead, actually, he's going to set up his reinforcement route first. And, well, you know, he may not understand he's quite as far ahead as he is. Certainly, Protoss reinforcement ability is powerful, but man, you take a good fight like that. Feels like he should be able to get something done. So here he is. He's going to find his way into the 4th base, but going through that choke is hard when Disruptors are out. And first Disruptor shot, not really. It's going to get a Marauder, that's it. Second one is not really going to do much of anything here. And, well, we're on 3 Disruptors, so 2/3 of the damage potential, of the burst potential of Byun's or MaxPax's army is gone, but Byun does not take that opportunity. Hey, Acheron. This is a different... Is this real Acheron, or is this someone else who has the name Acheron? Because I feel like you've talked to my chat before. Or I feel like pro player Acheron has talked to my chat before. Okay, yeah. Byun's going to scan this out, make sure he doesn't have Disrupt or Observers on his army, which makes it a lot harder for him to take the fight. But now Disruptor shot again. Great splits there from Byun. And now he's going to pile on forward. That force field, it sacrifices a Disruptor. But at the very least, it does keep the rest of the army alive as Zealots run in on the other side. But they're not going to get much of anything. Ghost snipes. There we go. That's a dead Zealot. But Byun, again, forced back. And the game goes on. Byun now rotating over, trying to knock the 5th base down. Maybe he's going to get a Zealot for his troubles to start. EMPs, oh, those are big ones. But supplies have equalized here, and Disruptors, they always make it difficult for the Terran to really take a fight. We're looking at 4 of them in this army, which does not, it's close to constant, but okay, there we go. Now Byun takes the fight. EMP is on everything. He says, oh, your disruptors are gone. I'll take that. Let me kill off all your zealots. He's going to find a disruptor as well. They're slowed down to a crawl, a veritable snail, and that is a dead disruptor here. Byun is going to be a lot happier taking the fight in a little bit, but zealots on the other side, they're also not getting much of anything. The run by again. MaxPax keeps trying to force it in, keeps trying to make it work, and it's just not. So now Byun, oh, it takes a big worm. Widowmine kills a stalker, I think, maybe some other stuff, but MaxPax cannot wedge his way in there. So true, so too cannot Byun get the 5th base. But okay, the disruptor shots it gets Marines, doesn't really matter. But second disruptor, got to be careful. Third one going off. Byun, he's not comfortable diving in. Maybe there's one more shot. Is this where Byun looks to make his move? No, another disruptor. MaxPax doing a fantastic job of just keeping Byun away from his army, because this army is vulnerable. It really is all about the disruptors, and Byun showed us his anti-disruptor micro is really powerful. It's really good. I've seen too many games where specifically MaxPax Byun, MaxPax Byun, Straya Byun, where Byun commits to killing a disruptor, but most likely because it's created NA, he doesn't quite get the he dives on top of it, but it's a little too slow and he loses a third of his army. And it's like, well, Byun, you know, limit testing. Glad you understand what you can do and cannot do now, because I haven't seen that happen in a little bit. Disruptors, though, Byun paying attention. Well, army on the right side. Looks like there's enough Stalker Zealot to make this one happen as we're moving fully into this mass gateway in the late game style. That actually Rainer used to great effect against Hero Rain, funnily enough, but now looks like Byun will be forced on back. There's just too much here. MaxPax, though, kind of getting stuck on 5 bases. Now, Byun is still on 4, so it's not the end of the world, but MaxPax took this 5th base a couple minutes ago. 4 minutes ago, and he's still... Okay, there we go. There's the 5th base going down. We're going to have to see whether Byun can deal with it. He drops a scan, but doesn't quite see that the base is up, so instead he's pressuring into the 3rd. Okay, no, he knows it. Okay, so he finds this base. This is actually guaranteed to go down now with the Liberators here of the army. Yeah, MaxPax just canceled. And Byun on the left side, owning the Zalnaga with that scan, he's actually not envisioned whatsoever. Zealots come charging in, but this army that Byun has is not something that MaxPax can fight without some higher tech solution, without Disruptor, something like that. And as a Liberator siege up, I mean, even Disruptors are not all that great. They can't really get in range of the Terran bio. So now the rest of the army of MaxPax has rotated on over. Disruptor shot, again, is not really going to land here because you have to stay so far out of range of everything. So 10 workers go down. Now Byun backing up just a little bit more. Decent disruptor shot, but not good enough because Byun's army is still here. Meanwhile, on the other side, defensive DTs are just not being defensive enough. So Byun finding value there as well. And this is starting to fall apart here for MaxPax. He cannot be everywhere he needs to be. His hands are falling apart. He loses the 4th base. Does he lose the 5th base? The Zealots again, they warp in defensively, but 26, 27, 28 probes have gone down. Byun, he just picks up. He loses a little bit of the landed Vikings, but he's still happy about how this army is going. And now it looks like on the left, eventually this gets cleaned up. 36 workers have died. And Byun's not even maxed out because he's found too much value. He needs to start building more. He's building medevac boost. He's getting, it's not Caduceus Reactor. What is it called? Infernal Pre-Igniters. He's getting Infernal Pre-Igniters in this game because he just wants to be able to drop more, I guess. It's a kind of a win more button. I never see it really matter, but he's doing it anyways. Okay, so now MaxPax on the other side. He's got to get some counter pressure here. Maybe a bunch of Blink DTs can make something happen, but the DT Blink change does mean at least the Protoss can respond, or the Terran can respond a little bit before they lose their planetary. A lot of Liberators are here, but there we go. Beyond yeah, he's a little too late. That's a dead planetary even still, but there's still a lot of detection. So Liberators, they siege up, and well, there's a scan, but I don't know what that's supposed to do there, Byun. You don't have anything that does this, that deals with this. Okay. But the bio is rotating on over now, so at least we have that. We'll always have the bio. Well, will we really? Byun's army, the right-hand side. We're seeing how long the boost lasts because of course, that Infernal Pre-Igniter. But now he's going to siege up the natural with the Liberators here in the Sim City. This is not a position that MaxPax can really easily fight into. Yeah, he's going to get some Stalkers, but is the Liberator range done? Yes, it is. So we also have Liberator range done, so really the Stalkers cannot fight into that one. And MaxPax is just going to lose a little bit of his territory in this natural. He's going to lose a little bit of his production. His Zealots on the other side, they are 3-2 Zealots. They do pack a wallop. But, no, in fairness, Byun knows 21 SCVs. And the DTs will continue to drop that orbital down low, and recall here as well. But now Stark is pulling forward, trying to knock the Liberators down, but this is just not cost effective. It's only +1 Liberator, so it's not two-shotting him, but even still. Byun finds himself up still 40 supply, 30 army supply. And while he has not been able to get that 5th base just yet, he's knocked his opponent back down to 4. Which is, of course, the number of death in Chinese, and that is kind of what is feeling like MaxPax is in this game. He still has a shot, and he's still getting some decent harass, but he's going to lose his 4th base. And now he's a 3-base Protoss. Now he's really not mining, and if you're going to play the style that MaxPax is playing, you need to have mining. Although, that being said, he gets another planetary. He gets another planetary. These DTs have been so effective in this game. Now they're all going to go down. So, oh, okay, they're going to blink out, but I mean, Byun has scans for days, so they will die. Is it rapid reignition system? I thought it was infernal pre-igniters. I don't know. No one ever gets it. But we got a little bit of lag here. Oh, that's right. It's blue flame. So it looks like Rocklet's Brazilian broadcast will unfortunately time out. That is very sad. Luckily, it's not at a time of massive inflection. All right, the DTs have died. Byun, he's going to try to get that 5th base rather soon. MaxPax steaming across the map with a 55 army supply deficit. But not a good spot for... It really is not a good spot for MaxPax. He's got to find some incredible damage here. Okay, there we go. Rocklets has left the game. Unfortunate. But the game will continue here. MaxPax, with this composition that he has, you need to be able to trade... Well, you're not going to trade efficiently, so you need to have a superior economy. That's why you put so much pressure on the map. It allows you to mass expand behind. But Byun has had enough pressure release valves that he can make something happen. Disruptor shot is not going to get too much just yet. Good splits here from Byun, losing a ghost, but Disruptors, they just continue to fall. We're seeing again how good Liberators are against this Disruptor play, because you can't get in these zones. That it eclipses the range of the Disruptor. It just does not work. So notionally, there are two ways you handle it. You either get Colossus, and then that happens, and then you're able to sit on the edge. But that's not even all that great when you have Liberator range. Or you get Tempest and you go Sky something. Or there's the third option of just having a lot of carriers and having a lot of stalkers trying to outposition. But none of these are really good options for MaxPax in this game. He's mining less than 1,000 minerals a minute. He's only on 4 bases, and most of those are mined out. He's trying to find some opening. And Byun has correctly realized that he does not need to be active on the map anymore. He doesn't need to do much anymore. He just needs to wait for MaxPax to tire himself out on the tantrum of this game. And now MaxPax, this is one last cry, one last tear, one last hope, but not enough. Byun, 2-1. In the bottom left here now in the red. He's down a map. His tournament life's on the line. It's MaxPax. In the upper right, in the blue, up 2-1 in this series. Is looking damn good for the Shopify Rebellion. Byun. Oh, and PD Penguin, there is an Acheron who's a semi-pro North American Protoss, and then there's Acheron, Aquaron, who is the professional, semi-professional Spanish Terran. So there are 2 of them. But I believe it all comes from one book that has it spelled Acheron, Acheron. That was a fun interview with Acheron, with Aquaron, to differentiate in DreamHack, where he's like, oh yeah, no, it's from this vampire lore in this book I read, and he kind of looks like Edward Cullen, maybe just a little bit, or not Edward Cullen. What's the actor's name? Oh, man, it's gonna bug me. A little bit. He was, Robert Pattinson. There we go. Looks a little bit like Robert Pattinson. And with everything else that had been happening, I was like, oh, it's Edward. Because we've been talking about eagles. Because, Acheron, you have the Roman, you have the Latin root for Aquila in the first part of his name, because he spells it with a Q. And like, eagle. Yeah, Roman Legion, I don't know. But no. It's a vampire. As Byun, he has opted for the quicker gas build again in this game on Hardwire, and part of this may just be maps. It's a little more linear push on Hardwire than it is on 2000 Atmospheres in terms of attack paths and defensive paths. So Byun may feel that, say, 2000 Atmospheres is a little bit too wide open to really just shove through the gullet with 3 racks, with 5 racks, whatever he does decide to end up going for. And that's fair. I mean, we saw him try to do that in on the glittering game. Was it the glittering game? On game 2, and it didn't really work. Yeah, it was a glittering game, I think. And game 2 didn't really work out for him whatsoever. So we're gonna have to see what he gets done this game. Again, MaxPax opening for Stargate. As he sees the double gas, he says there are aggressive options for you, Byun here. I don't know what it's gonna be, but Stargate keeps me safe for most of it. But Byun very quickly adding in that second barrack. Cyclone on the way. So I keep looking at this and thinking, oh, Widowmine drops or Pelion drops, but that's just not Byun's idea, and that's not what he's been doing in this series, well, in this entire tournament with this quick gas build. Instead, often he goes for the double barracks, and this does tend to bleed into a 5 racks play, but, well, I don't know what we're going to see from him at the moment. I mean, he could just go for a Ryung build, a really quick stim, hit it 6 minutes, where MaxPax is more prepared for a 7:30 timing. But certainly, Phoenix are on the way, and that is something that will be decent defensively. It will provide a lot of vision is really the big thing there for MaxPax. Let him know what's happening. But you can't commit too hard to Phoenix if this is going to be a really quick stim. If this is if this turns into almost a 3-1-1, it's not a 3-rack, so you're okay there. Yeah, Robert Pattinson, PD Pigman. I got it. I got there eventually. But anyway, Cyclone running on it. The patented Byun harassment Cyclone is not going to get much of anything because, well, the Phoenix are there. And actually, Phoenix should be able to chase this down. Gets the lift. There we go. But second Phoenix, not really quick on the chase, but of course, with the Stalker and the Phoenix, the Cyclone is dead. It's done so. He's unhappy. But I get to Scott. It says, okay, this is a Phoenix play from MaxPax. That's something. And hey, Corone Leon. Thanks so much for the follow, my friend. Glad you're here. Acheron, if you're Diamond, you're better than 80% of the population. So, I know it's tempting to say I'm trash. And, in comparison to the pros, we are all trash. But, you're still better than 80% of the population. 80 to 93% of the population, depending on what part of Europe, what part of Diamond you're in. Whether it's, because I think bottom Diamond's top 20%, and bottom Masters is like top 7%. I forget where it is. Maybe it's tough. I forget where it is right now. Regardless, you're still better than a lot of people. So, don't talk down on yourself, please. That's my job. You're trash. Anyway, Phoenix here on the left. They're not going to get all that much done. Is, of course, +1 and charge on the way for MaxPax. It worked for him once. It didn't work for him once. Let's see what happens in this game. If really he can just make the good trades happen. And Byun is committing harder to defending the Phoenix play. So, missile turrets are on the way. We're only on 3 barracks right now. The inflection point, actually, what I'm tracking is whether he goes to 5 barracks or whether he gets the 3rd. Because we saw him in the first 2 games, and actually most of the games this tournament for him, we've seen him go and he's gone 5 racks. He's just hit with more than the Protoss player would ever expect at that timing and really kind of killed his opponent. But he wants to play more macro game, and Hardwire Byun plays very good PvT on Hardwire. Getting the third base a little bit faster does play into that one. 5 barracks before a 3rd is rather committed, shall we say. But no, here comes the army of Byun. Combat shields are done. Concussive shells are done. +1 on the way. Should be done by the time things are happening. And this will not be the full 5 racks all in coming out of Byun. But it will hit before charge is done. Will not hit before +1 is done. And again, the unending line of blue is here. Byun looking to shove his way through MaxPax once again. MaxPax, though, he is warping in more zealots. He's somewhat defended. No shield battery in the natural, but there is one in the 3rd base. And there will eventually be Archons, but not really for the initial push. So here comes Byun now. Zealots trying to get on top of things. They're going to lift up. Not much of anything just yet, but a medevac falls. Second medevac falls. No healing in this army anymore. Guardian Shield's actually really nice. And MaxPax is just going to swallow this army whole. But he's got to back up because here comes the second rally of Byun. We need to see another warp in there for MaxPax. Army supply, though, certainly is equalized. +1 is now done. And this push from Byun did not work. Did not work at all. We're going to have to see a third base go down rather soon. Zealous on the other side is going to get a Widowmine, and that really is going to be just about it. MaxPax, he held the push. Fourth base on the way. He knows the way of things. When you hold a push, you expand, because your opponent cannot put as much pressure on anymore. And still, the big thing, I think we see, well, not a single Phoenix has died this game. They were tremendously useful in that defense, and then still not one has died. But Widowmine is going to look to bait it out. No, MaxPax aware of the common locations. I don't even think he saw it, but he's going to dive on top of that now, and, well, he's going to deal a little damage to medevac, but too much bio there. Too much anti-air. Can't do all that much. But okay. MaxPax, his fourth base, not done yet, but it's about halfway done. Third base about halfway done for MaxPax as well, taking it very defensively, not even on location. He understands that the threat that these Phoenix and the charge lots do represent. So it's going to be even slower, as now Archons are on the field. Looks like MaxPax is setting up for a timing out of this, as the Terran looks to take his third base. Getting all these Archons, you do not buy Archons in this game of StarCraft unless you're planning on doing something with them. So we're going to have 3 Archons on the field as... we're gonna see Storm, and we do sometimes see Storm in this game, but not just yet. There we go. Morphing it into an Archon. Fourth base just about done. Enhanced Shockwave's on the way, but they're not there for a while, and MaxPax is eventually going to go into Colossus. Disruptor's one of those. RoboBay is done. But MaxPax is a pretty scary timing, as his Warp Prism is on the way out, of course. And this is not a timing where he is all in, where he has to end the game. He's on 71 probes, for crying out loud. He's on 4 bases. And he's on double forge. Oh, with my Phoenix. Oh, I was praising MaxPax for keeping his Phoenix alive, and he did find a lot of value with them, but he just lost 3, and that is unfortunate. And less drop defense. At this point, you don't care as much, but it is still awkward. Zealous now are going to find the bio on the left side, so don't know who's fighting who, but at the end of the day, MaxPax does not win this trade. But okay, second robo on the way, and this is it's going to be for Colossus. Okay. So the Robo is done. We're going to have a second Robo. So 2 Robo Colossus is going to be the name of the game. And I really do like this. Byun, in my mind, now I'm not everyone, but in my mind, he is a player that really avoids building Vikings. There are some players, Hero Marine, for example, I think. I don't cast Hero Marine as much. That will go for Vikings pretty much at the first idea of Colossus. And you get your Viking counts, and it's a very traditional composition. Very traditional way to handle what the Protoss is doing. And then you have players that beyond that just rely on their micro and their ability to hit big surrounds and hit sick EMPs and say, I don't really care about this. And the last Phoenix will go down. Colossus, though, knocking down a couple Widow Mines. A good EMP is to start this fight, but Shield Batter Overcharge nullifies a lot of that one. Now, of course, Colossus does not have extended thermal lance, so the Marauders can still get on top of it, but now the Widow Mines are done, so Zealot's knocking on top of things. And MaxPax trying to make something happen here, but good concave that Byun's setting it up, but it's just not enough. The consistent DPS that Byun has. Oh, I mean, these Widow Mines are rather powerful. Oh man, center mass as well. That was just about as good as Byun could hope. Meanwhile, on the other side, Zealots find their way into this third base, but with a Liberator here, the rally of Byun, it's not going to get all that much done. This game is shaping up, folks, to go a good while longer, and please, Byun's late game TVP is so much fun to watch. It is so much fun to watch. But for now, his third base has been secured for the most part. He's got his 1-1, his 2-2 very late. His armory, really because his armory is late. Oh, sorry, he doesn't have his 1-1. +1 armor just about complete. Apparently, I cannot read the production tab. But MaxPax's 2-2 is just about done here. Extended Thermal Lance most of the way as well. He's got his 5th base on the bottom right, and he's posturing aggressively to defend it. This is a... We're not seeing the supply just yet. In fact, Byun is up 20 army supply. But MaxPax is up 15 workers. He's up 2 bases. We're going to have to see something out of Byun to make this happen. Extended Thermal Lance done just about right now, as well as Blink is done, so we can deal with any Vikings on the field, and we don't really have any. The first 2 are on the way right now. But this feels kind of scary for MaxPax, for Byun, really. But you got to be careful. So scan drops down, and Byun sees, okay, that's a lot of splash. That is 3 Colossus. I can't really take that fight, and MaxPax, again, opening up chokes, opening up paths that he can attack through, opening paths that he can retreat through. This concave that Byun is setting up here, it may mean that as powerful as this army is, it will not matter. But Byun, he springs the trigger just a little bit too soon. Even still, EMPs blanket the army. Archons are starting to fall here. Byun microing them backwards, and there's not as much anti-air as there once was. In fact, the Colossus are hanging pretty damn far back, but there's still 4 Colossus here. Byun looking to collapse on top of things. The first Colossus is going to go down, but there's still 3 more where that came from. Byun's supply starting to fall precipitously, but a second Colossus, a third Colossus barely stays alive. Vikings arrive, though, knock that one on down. They change the tale of that story, of that Colossus. Now it's only 1 Colossus here, but still disruptors are a terrifying thing. Byun, he gently micros backwards, loses a couple Marauders, but MaxPax, he's up 50 supply now. Byun cannot hold on. And MaxPax, he takes us to series point. He takes us to ace point. It's 2-2. In the bottom right here, in the red for the last time in EPT 127, he is MaxPax. In the bottom left now in the blue, looking for a 2-peat. In EPT 127, the Cups, Korea, and now in A, it is Byun. Man, I am so glad that I was able to come up with a GG emote idea that is different from everyone else's. Like, because everyone has a GG emote, but most of them are just 2 Gs and with slightly stylized. But I like my robot holding up one, or cleaning bot, which I've been convinced that it looks roughly like a cleaning bot, which is the perfect thing, of course, when a cleaning bot blocks your command center. It needs to hold up the sign. It needs to say, "Yep, I blocked your base. Good game." Where do we go in this game number 5? Again, it's single gas here from Byun, but he was going gas, barracks, gas. So, yep, not exactly a commitment just yet. I don't know that Byun can get super aggressive on this map in general, because it's Blackburn. On the one hand, yes, Terran pressure can be very good because so much dead airspace and multiple positions to siege up. 2 base tank pushes are scary. On the flip side, though, it's Blackburn, and it's hard to break. I know that's just it's just Blackburn, but that's the way it goes sometimes. And it's only a single gas here. Only single gas from Byun. We're going to see something a little bit more traditional in game 5, because it feels like MaxPax has cracked the code. He had up, up, down, down, left, right, AB, back, start. And he figured out exactly how to deal with what Byun has been doing with these quick gas openings. So instead, Byun, command center on the high ground, just to maybe leave a bit of doubt in MaxPax's head. And also, MaxPax has the MaxPax build. There we go. 3 racks. 3 racks in game number 5. I've been talking about it as a potentiality, or maybe not throughout the entire series, but before the series started, and as we've been casting Byun today. But we haven't seen it yet. And 3 racks is fantastic against Phoenix openers. Thank you, Warnell. I need to add a couple more tracks to the rotation, so it's not just the same 2 every time, or it's not just the same 2 alternating and different intros, but thank you. I'm pretty happy with it. Oh, look at this though, Byun. He's got the surround here. He's going to knock this down. Oh, the scouting adept is going to die, and yeah, you trade a Marine for it, but I didn't even see those Marines. They were trapped. They were locked in a corner, and I just didn't look at that spot. Brilliant move there from Byun. So now MaxPax has no idea what's happening. He really does not have any idea. Maybe seeing a couple extra Marines, but realistically, Byun has not been building anything off those 2 additional barracks, because they're tech lab, they're for combat shield, they're for stim. It's not like there was a lot more Marines at this stage of the game than you would expect. But still, MaxPax, he is adding that robo fairly quickly. He's adding on a second gateway. Does he continue to build more Phoenix? He has 2, and he will continue to build more. But often when you have a 3 racks like this, you want to stop building Phoenix at 3 or maybe 4, and you got to get a lot of stuff on the ground. You need shield batteries down. You need a lot of stuff. But notice the position here of these Marines. Byun is hiding this really well, and the Phoenix are not really going to want to dive into the main base. That's where they can die. So instead, they're going to get a couple workers, and Byun, he's hiding this so hard. But eventually, it looks like MaxPax is going to be able to see it. It says, okay, that's a lot of Marines. Adept is now getting warped in, but now Byun's running across the map. Byun has hit it long enough. We're going to see an Immortal get chronoed out, and shield batteries are on the way. But is that going to be enough? Is there enough time for MaxPax to get what he needs out? Sentry warped in as well for force fields, for Guardian Shield to keep things alive. But now here's the big army of Byun. Phoenix onto the other side, looking for counter damage. But that counter damage only matters if MaxPax stays alive here. And there are some Marines, but Phoenix will be able to lift these off at the very least, cut down some of the rally of Byun. And Byun What does he have? What does he have to punch through on the other side? A Sentry, an Immortal, 3 Adepts, and a Shield Battery. 2 Shield Batteries, actually. I don't know that he can punch through that, actually. So 1 Marine goes forward. He gets a Scout off. He says, okay, Sentries, Immortals. That's a bit scary. He's waffling here. He does not want to commit that stim. And he's not going to. In fact, I would not be surprised to see him run back home rather soon enough. Between his rally getting shot down by these Phoenixes, one Phoenix getting very low, but MaxPax going to keep that alive. He's just running back at a weird angle. And he has forced a lot here out of MaxPax. He's delayed the third base by a tremendous amount of time. Look at what Byun's doing here. MaxPax, he feels safe enough to look out on the map to take the third base, and without a shield battery overcharge, maybe that's something Byun. He's now going to stim on top, but it's just too much here. Too many Sentries, too many Phoenix, too much of everything, and Byun's got to get out. So he had an idea. He thought maybe he could catch MaxPax when he didn't have everything together, but he will not be able to cancel that third base, and now more Phoenix on the way. Phoenix Colossus is going to be the name of the game for MaxPax in this game number 5. But of course, he's playing modern Phoenix Colossus, going up to 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe even 10 Phoenix. And that allows him to maintain them and to maintain their strength over multiple fights, to lift up things multiple times. And to just represent a ton of threat to Vikings and to Medivacs. No, gone is the day, really. We don't see that all that much, at all, the 5 Phoenix play. And also, when you have 6, 7, 8, 9 Phoenix, missile turrets, they matter less. All right, but Byun gets his army home. Medivacs are starting to hit the field, and Phoenix are going to try to snipe them down, floating on top of the starport, but Byun now stims forward. He says, oh, no, I need my Medivacs. I do need my Medivacs, please. My third base on location here. And there we go. Phoenix are going to try to dive on top of the Medivacs. One will get very, very low, and the rest of the Marines, they do fall. Byun not really reacting to this as quick as I would have expected. Kept a lot of his army in the ram. Maybe he was worried about a run-by. But certainly at the Phoenix, they continue to find their value. MaxPax, of course, or Byun, his third base halfway done, adding in additional bears, Ghost Academy as well, but you need Vikings. Phoenix Colossus in particular, you need Vikings. And we've seen Byun's reticence to go for that. In fact, maybe even 2-port Viking. But the Ghost Academy will be out. Maybe if he can find a big fight, maybe you can get a good surround, it's a little bit better. Or if you just take the game late enough, you don't allow MaxPax to hit the big fight because you're multitasking, maybe that's a little bit better. But there we go. Phoenix, they're going to dive in, but again, Byun does have +1. He's stim. They really can't fight that number of Marines all that easily. But third base now done, mining for a while here for MaxPax. His economy, it's in a damn fine spot. But Byun opening up attack paths, knocking these rocks down, and these rocks are why I think Blackburn is actually a really cool map. It gives you you have this really short rush distance through the bottom side, but once the rocks go down, it opens up into this massive map that has all these opportunities for big surrounds and multitasking. It is 2, maybe even 3 maps in one. But Byun, he has his third base now. Command center done as well. +1 armor, mostly done. Enhanced shockwaves as well, and he's adding missile turrets just about everywhere. He is terrified of these Phoenix getting too much value, or the break with MaxPax coming in and not having enough missile turrets, so the Phoenix, they lift up everything important, then he loses to the ground army of MaxPax. So again, the Phoenix sharking forward, looking to get a lucky timing where the Medivacs pop out, but not really going to get that. Good EMPs, though. 2 Phoenix maintain their energy, but that's just about that. And now, where do we go from here? Byun, he's got his, or MaxPax, he's got his 4th base at the gold. The Phoenix sharking around. It's a triple drop from Byun. It's going to be a disaster if he gets found out. But of course, he's just going to hot drop on the other side, looking for some pressure. Maybe even hoping to find those Phoenix, but he will not. Phoenix on the bottom side instead as Byun rotates top. +1 attack just about done here for MaxPax. I kind of want, yeah, okay, there we go. Second forge on the way. I say I want to see a second forge, but MaxPax on top of it. +2 on the way here for MaxPax as well. And Byun rotating right. He's going to take the gold as well on location with a command center, which always just seems crazy. But MaxPax has been rather defensive in this game. He does not really seem desirous to make anything happen, but Byun, he finds the 4th base. He's going to try to target it down, but he's not going to hang around. Byun says, I could probably kill that base, but losing my army that I have right there is probably not worth it. Byun pressuring on the bottom side, though. This is where things get complicated for MaxPax. Supply is not bad for him whatsoever, but it's a very deathball army. It's a lot of high-tech units. It's kind of hard for him to deal with. But on the other side of things, what is that? A couple of depths. So a couple of depths find their way into the third base here of MaxPax. Disruptors don't really land. On the other side, though, great force fields. MaxPax going to have to pick up, run away. Doesn't lose too much, though. Byun doesn't. Now he stims on into the natural. Does he see the disruptor? He does. EMP is on top of one. Disruptor just gets popped here, and it's going to get a Marine or two. That's not really all that much. Second EMP, though, it does whiff. Byun is fourth base, just about done, but now the army of MaxPax rotates on over in full effect. So MaxPax, he's not going to take too much damage from this army of Byun anymore. Phoenix now, we're going to find Phoenix could really lift up every Marine and kill that off, but they will not. And now Byun brings his army together as MaxPax is as well. And remember, the fourth base is somewhat vulnerable. Oh, that's a lot of free zealots there. Nice job there, Byun. You're going to be happy about that one. But the fourth base is a little bit vulnerable. It's taken 75% or 25% of its whole damage, and that is something. Good EMP is there on the Phoenix. The rest of the army of Byun finds its way forward. And now Byun, he's finally moving into Viking play. But even in the middle of the map here, it's not like he does need Vikings. It's 3 Colossus, but it could be worse because he has massive surround potential right now as he knocks down 6 workers on the gold. A Marauder falls as well. And this drop's going to get, yeah, this drop is dead. Byun now dropping behind in supply just a little bit, but he does have 2-2 most of the way done. He does have his gold base here. He's adding additional barracks, going on up to 8 barracks now as he's adding more Vikings, but he's only on 2. He does need to go up to that 9 to 12 mark. And again, with heavy Phoenix play, you kind of want to be closer to 12 than 9. It's 3, the math says 3 Vikings per Colossus. And of course, Phoenix, they just messed with the math a little bit. And Byun, he's just skipping that. Yes, he has a couple Vikings. I think he only has like 4. And he's just dropping a fusion core. He says, I've got a gold. This game is going to go late. It's Blackburn. I'm going to get into ranged liberators as quick as I can. Now here comes the army of MaxPax marauding forward. He's maxed out, but so too is Byun. He's got to run by on the other side. He's killed off a couple workers, but Shield Battery Arbitrage doing a damn fine job as now Widow Mines are going to knock down a lot of these Zealots. The supply depot doing a great job of eating off all their AI missile turret. Doing a good job on the Phoenix as well, but it is now down. Byun taking a decent shot there from that disruptor, but really for both sides, it kind of an inconsequential fight. So the Warpin's in the main base. It's something we expect to see, but MaxPax is maxed out, so he's not really going to be able to make much happen. Byun, is he aware of this? He sees it, okay. And now here comes MaxPax again, trying to find his way in. Good EMPs, disruptor shots, they do just absolutely whiff. Great splits there from Byun, and now as the Liberators, they look to siege up. And now, of course, they don't have range just yet, so the Colossus is still fairly good in that endeavor, but now Archives, they just pop like balloons. Byun, though, he's still losing a supply. Disruptor shot again goes down. Byun, the rally, he's not paying attention. It's A moves, it's move command. He loses a lot coming from the main end of the natural here, and now it's a 30 supply lead here for MaxPax. 30 army supply indeed, and there's not a lot of wheat. There's not a lot of chaff, just the wheat. It's only the high-tech units, and Byun trying to jump on top of this, though. Still, 27 workers have gone down. More and more Zealots warp in. MaxPax, he's on the doorstep of greatness here in this game number 5. Byun does not have a lot left. He's down in army supply. He's down in economy. He is just getting eaten out from the inside by all of these Zealots in the army. The Colossus finding their way on up to the high ground. The 4th base of Byun also under threat, although I think, yeah. No, that was an orbital. It's not allowed to mine here, not that single Zealot, and we do not have Liberator range just yet. Byun getting just maybe a little bit too greedy here, and it does not matter. Byun does not get there. In 5 games, MaxPax, he takes the series. He's the champion once again of EBT North America.